Right now, without knowing it, you are mimicking whoever you are spending the most time with. Their posture, their speech patterns, their mannerisms, their gestures. You are not choosing to do this. You are not aware that you are doing this, and the people around you are doing the exact same thing back to you, with equal unawareness. This is called the Chameleon Effect. It was formally named and studied by psychologists Tanya Chartrand and John Bargh in 1999. Their paper became one of the most cited findings in modern social psychology, accumulating over 9,000 citations. The experiment that established it was simple and precise. Participants were brought into a room to interact with two strangers, who were actually confederates working with the researchers. The first confederate rubbed her face repeatedly throughout the interaction. The second confederate shook her foot. Then the roles were reversed for a different group of participants. When participants were with the face rubber, they rubbed their own faces more. When they were with the foot shaker, they shook their own feet more. At the end of the session, participants were asked directly about the mannerisms of the person they had been interacting with. They noticed them. Then they were asked about their own behavior. They had no idea they had been mirroring anything. The mimicry was entirely automatic, entirely unconscious, entirely outside their awareness. Chartrand and Bargh called the mechanism behind this the perception-behavior link. Simply perceiving another person's behavior is enough to partially activate the motor program for that behavior in your own brain. Unless something actively stops it, you do it. You see someone cross their legs and your legs cross. You see someone lean forward and you lean forward. You hear someone's speech slow and your speech slows. None of this is deliberate. It is your brain running a program so old it predates language. Researchers believe the chameleon effect has evolutionary roots. For most of human history, behavioral synchrony within a group signaled safety and cooperation. Moving like the people around you, sounding like them, mirroring their physical state, was a low-cost signal that said, "I am with you. I am not a threat." Groups that moved in sync survived better than groups that did not. The mirroring behavior that looks social in modern life was survival behavior first. But the finding that made this genuinely important was not the mimicry itself. It was what mimicry produces. Chartrand and Bargh ran a second experiment where confederates deliberately mimicked the participants they were interacting with. Participants who were mimicked reported higher feelings of liking and rapport with that person afterward. Not because they noticed the mimicry, none of them did, but the physical synchrony created a feeling of connection that participants could not account for. They just liked the person more. The relationship is bidirectional. People who are already affiliating with each other mimic more, and people who mimic each other begin to affiliate. The mimicry and the connection reinforce each other in a loop. This is why a conversation that feels effortless often involves two people who have never consciously noticed that their bodies have been synchronizing throughout. The effortlessness is the synchrony. There is a layer to this that most people do not consider. The chameleon effect means that the people you spend the most time with are not just influencing your opinions or your habits in the ways you might notice. They are influencing your physical comportment, the way you hold your body, the pace at which you speak, the expressions that move across your face. You are being physically shaped below the threshold of awareness by proximity alone. This operates on timescales that compound. A person you spend years with leaves a physical imprint on how you move and carry yourself, long after they are no longer present. The posture you have right now is partly the residue of everyone you have spent significant time around. The research also found that dispositionally empathic people show the chameleon effect more strongly. The more attuned someone is to other people's internal states, the more their body automatically matches those states in the people around them. High empathy and high unconscious mimicry are the same system expressing itself through different channels. One important nuance the research establishes is that the effect is not uniform. It works most strongly when affiliation goals are active, when the other person is perceived as part of your group, and when the mimicry stays below the threshold of conscious awareness. Mimicry that becomes obvious can backfire, reading as mockery rather than synchrony. The effect operates precisely because it is invisible. You are a chameleon. You have always been one. The question is whether you have ever considered which environments you are allowing to shape the color you turn.